What a beautiful day. And nothing is impossible in my own powerful way. But on the 5th of November. Wow, hello Friday Ketchup audience. Thank you very much for watching. Today my guest is you, Wigley. Yay! Hello you, a very good afternoon or Friday morning, Friday afternoon, I don't know what it is when you're watching. But thank you very much for tuning in. Friday Ketchup with you, Wigley. Please, you introduce yourself to the audience and tell them what you have to bring for us.
Well, hello, and thanks for having me. I should say, by the way, Emiel, that following a week after Melissa's a challenge, right? That was a highlight. Love that. So, sorry, you're stuck with me today. So, I'm Hugh Wigley, and I work in our customer marketing team on our post-sales campaigns. And thanks to you, your audience will already know, but the Collective is my baby. So, SUSE Collective, our loyalty program, that is what I look after on a daily basis.
All right, okay. And for people who don't know it yet, what is the Collective?
Oh, great question. It's like we planned this. So our Collective is SUSE's very first loyalty program. And it is there to celebrate and thank all of our customers and users around the world and reward them for doing so with things like this.
Yeah.
And this.
Yeah.
And chameleons.
And
everything else in between.
Chameleon in the room as well. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's really cool. And but that's not the only reason, I guess, for having something like the Collective, just to give presents and to give swagware away. What's the longer term goal of the Collective?
Yeah, so I talked about celebrating people there, and it genuinely is a thank you and a celebration. It's not a sales channel. We always made that really clear.
Yeah.
But within the Collective, it's about education. It's about people networking with each other. It's about attending exclusive events that we put on just for those individuals. Absolutely. Do you know what though? It's about having fun. Life is pretty serious at the moment, so it's about having a bit of fun at the same time. But if we can, from a business perspective, if we can help people to understand SUSE even better and get more out of their time with us, then we're doing our job.
All right. Okay. Sounds very fair. Hey, and we opened with the Levelers. What a beautiful day! I think it might have been came into your approval because you know that I am a big fan of the Levelers, or is that pure coincidence?
No, do you know what, Emiel? I remember one of the very first conversations you and I had on a call. I don't know, because we were talking business, but I don't know how it came about. We talked about music. And you mentioned the Levelers, and you took me right back to my youth.
Yeah.
Because as a guy in college at the age of sort of 16, 17, I got into the Levelers here in the UK. And so anytime I hear them, I get taken back, 30 years or whatever into my youth. And I love that sort of folky sound, the sort of mix of guitars and violins and strings and drums. Love all of that.
Didgeridoo.
And there are so many great tracks.
And Didgeridoo is there as well.
The didgeridoo as well, absolutely, right? Absolutely. Yeah. But they have so many, in their back catalogue, so many great tracks, and I know that you know more of their newer material better than I do. I thought, I've got to choose a song for this. Every day is beautiful, right? So why not we go A Beautiful Day? But also the line we heard there about nothing being impossible in my own powerful mind. I thought, that's correct. Yeah. Nothing's impossible. If we put our minds to it, we can do anything.
Absolutely. Hey, and moving right from your choice of music to your choice of book to the tip of the week for the Friday Ketchup lovers, and that's Legacy by James Kerr. And I looked at it just a little bit when you said this is the book of my my recommendation, and it's all about the All Blacks, right? So can you tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to take this off now. I'm getting pretty good quality hat there. So, I'm not the world's greatest reader, and I tend to get lost in theoretical books.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm looking for a book, I'm looking for something which helps me to understand in a way that's nice and easy for my very simple brain. And someone said to me a while back, they mentioned this book, the James Kerr Legacy book, which I know you've got on screen there as well.
Yeah.
I'm a Welshman, so rugby is a passion of mine. And so when I heard there was a book that might tell me a few bits and pieces about business, but linked to rugby, I thought, well, that's a book I've got to read.
Yeah.
And so it's the whole book is based on lessons for business people.
All right.
Linked to the most successful sporting team in the world. The All Blacks are the most successful team of any sport in the world. And the author James spent 5 weeks in camp with the All Blacks. And that never happens. They don't let people in.
Okay.
And so he was able to see everything. And he wrote this book off the back of it. And he looks at things like, how do the best stay the best? What are the secrets of sustained success? And how do you maintain those exceptional standards that you set yourselves? And there's a real mix in there of rugby, of Maori mythology, business as well, of course. And every chapter is linked to a number on the back of the shirt. So there's 1 to 15 in chapters, which is lovely. And I just picked out one for you today. Chapter 3, for example, is about purpose.
Okay.
And chapter 3 has a message in it. That message says, the person with a narrow vision sees a narrow horizon. But the person with a wide vision...
Sorry, I have to let it sink in. So probably the average Friday Ketchup, because we don't have only native English, we also have people from all over the world here. So can you say that again, that sentence?
Absolutely, yeah. So the person with a narrow vision sees a narrow horizon.
All right. Yep.
So if you have a narrow vision, you don't see very much.
No.
Whereas the person with a wide vision has a wide horizon.
Yes.
All right. You know what? Good. Let's not close our minds off. And I guess it, in a funny way, it links back to open source, obviously, because let's not close our minds. Let's make sure we're open and take that ethos with us. So you know what? It's not a long book because I can't read a long book. It's not even 200 pages.
Okay.
But beautifully written, short chapters. Lots and lots of really good lessons. And if you're a fan of rugby or sporting excellence, it's a good read too.
All right, okay. And what I was about to say, if you would say such a book, you're not a reader, you say. I am not, at least I don't take the time to read a proper book from paper, but audiobooks is something I do listen to. Do you know if it's also available as audiobook?
Do you know, I don't know. I think it probably is. A very popular book, so I think it probably is.
Should be,
worth checking.
Yeah, I'll put it underneath here if it is or it is not, and in English or in other languages as well. Hey, and thinking back of last week, you said you have to match Melissa, who was the guest of last week. She mentioned one thing that stuck with me. She told her, she gave her a recommendation of the week. That was the book she wrote herself, Kick Like a Girl. And you asked me a couple of times, and I put you on the spot here, but you asked me a couple of times, like, hey, do you know what kind of gifts, besides beautiful sweaters, beanies, mugs? Oh, actually, I don't even have a SUSE mug now with me on the desk, but normally I do. How about if we put this book, Kick Like a Girl, as one of the things that the SUSE customers can save points for, gather points, and then get the book Kick Like a Girl. So we can cut the thing, how you say that, cut the knife on two sides? How do you say that in English? How's the phrase in English?
What is that phrase in English?
Knife cutting on two sides?
Or kill two birds with one stone, maybe.
Oh yeah, okay, that's similar.
Yeah, maybe that works. Yeah. Do you know what, Emiel? That's a great idea. That's a really good idea.
Okay.
And I know, I think I heard in Melissa's catch-up with you that she was looking at translations and putting in different languages.
Yeah, correct.
But obviously, as you know, because you're in the collective, our members, well, they speak better English than I do, so I'm sure it won't be a problem. So yeah, let's do that. My commitment then to you and to Melissa, I will reach out to Melissa and the team.
All right.
We'll get that up as a reward, and people can spend their points, and we will ship them a copy. Great idea.
Really cool. Really cool. And last week, also going back to last week, I said wrongly, like, go to SUSE.collective.com and you can subscribe. But the more detailed version, if people watch the Friday Ketchup who are either a customer or who else would be the target group for the collective, and how can they become part of this great initiative?
Yeah, absolutely. So you're right. It is for customers, but it's also for users. Our software is free to download and use.
Yeah.
So it is for users as well. We need to make sure that people in the collective, of course, are customers or users.
Yeah.
So that's easily done. The simplest way to do it, and we'll put a link below this. I know we share these on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So when I share it and you share, we'll put a link as well. But the simplest way is either comment on that, and Emiel or I can be in touch. Or indeed send an email. I think you'll probably put this on the screen.
Yeah,
send an email to suse.collective@suse.com.
Okay.
And we will get straight back to you.
All right. Well, so that's a promise from us to everybody who's watching the Friday Catch-up. Thank you very much for that. Let me have a look here if there is anything else that we want to cover. Yeah, you said something because I asked you, okay, which book is your recommendation? And you had difficulty of choosing between Legacy, which you explained, and I think is quite interesting for people to go over during the December break, if they have a December break. But there was a TV show that you wanted to recommend as well. Well, here is your stage. Which TV series should we binge watch?
Do you know what? Yeah, we binged a lot during lockdown with the kids. Trying to find the right program was difficult. And we started watching Schitt's Creek.
All right, that sounds a bit awkward.
SCH.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's not swear on the Friday Catch-up. But yeah, a series called Schitt's Creek, which is a Canadian sitcom.
Okay.
For all the family. Possibly not very, very young children, but certainly my kids are sort of 9 or 10 now, and 12.
Mm-hmm.
So they were absolutely fine with it. Brilliantly funny, very clever, all about a family that used to have a huge amount of money, very successful businesses, lost everything. And they ended up having to, I won't give the whole story away clearly, but they ended up having to leave this beautiful house and the private jet and all that lovely things that they had, leave all that behind. And they end up going to live in a town that they previously bought. And they bought this town in America for fun, end up living in a motel. Anyway, very interesting setup. There's a businessman father who failed. That's, by the way, his name is Eugene Levy, and people will remember him as perhaps the father in the American Pie series of films.
Okay.
So that's him and his son. They wrote it as well, but they also star as father and son. But the family, you've got the father, the failed businessman. You've got the mother, who's a bit of a jobbing stroke failed actress.
Okay.
The daughter, who's this socialite, privileged young lady who thinks the world owes her a favour. And then you've got David, who's the son, who's pansexual. So that whole diversity and inclusion piece is all over it. It's absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
And the whole thing, links, I guess, to a way to open, because it's all about the community coming together, full of support for each other, full of advice. And there are a number of things that it's beautifully written, beautifully acted, emotional in places, but also very funny.
Yeah.
But they celebrate diversity, as I mentioned. They're all about being you, and don't apologise for being you. This is who you are. A bit like Melissa last week with "This Is Me" and her song choice.
Yeah.
Just be unapologetically who you are. And forgive me, I'm going to use one small swear word here. But one of the things that came out is basically when shit happens, when bad things happen, roll with the punches. There's a good chance that everything's going to work out for the best.
Oh, wow.
But you know what? Uplifting, 6 seasons. We binged it in a few weeks. Great fun. And I wish they'd made more.
Okay. Well, I learned a lot today from you. Thank you very much for that. So to summarize, we have to listen or read Legacy from James Kerr. We have to send an email to you. The name you, for me, being non-native English, I don't see or hear a difference between you and your first name, you. That must have been very complex growing up.
Well, it's the Welsh spelling.
Okay.
So it's the same as the actor Hugh Grant that you would have heard of, right? But obviously spelled slightly differently. You're not the first, Emiel, and you won't be the last to get confused about pronunciation.
But back to the summarization of this Ketchup, and actually maybe of this whole year, because this is the last Ketchup of this year. Because I'm going to celebrate, and I don't think I'll make one next week, but you never know, maybe it happens, but I don't think so. But that means that everybody who has been watching any of the Friday Catch-ups from the first season, And this season now, the 2.0 version with guests, I really want to thank all of you very, very much for your continued comments and likes and all the thumbs up I got. And I'm really surprised that some people even came up to me when there were physical events happening and they said, "Oh wow, can I be on the picture with you?" So that's quite funny. I think like just started this whole Ketchup thing because we were locked in, and here in the Netherlands we are locked in again. But so here is my Christmas wishes. If you are Christian, if you celebrate Christmas, have a wonderful Christmas. If not, and you have a break like people in South Africa, if you are not Christian, but they have summer break now. I just spoke to a colleague of us in South Africa, and they actually have 2 weeks off to be on summer holiday, but also with Corona things happening. So stay safe, enjoy your break if you have one, and we'll see you early next year. We'll have some great guests lined up already, and yeah, I would say be careful, stay safe. Thanks for your committed support, and see you next year. Bye bye. Let's go back to the levelers. Here we go. Some say that that's impossible, but you and I would never look back. Wasn't it incredible? So beautiful.